Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tosif, and I am back with a new live stream. This is Saturday morning, and first of all, I want to apologize because I was supposed to do this live stream last night. That's what the original scheduled time said. It was supposed to be taking place last night. However, due to unavoidable circumstances, I was not able to start this live stream last night. And then I had thought I'm going to start this live stream 7 a.m. today, Central Time. That was also not possible. So, there has been a series of delays regarding this live stream. So I apologize for anyone who waited for me last night, who waited for me early this morning. But here I am now starting this live stream, and I hope that um, our friends will be tuning in. Okay, so Susan is here. Susan, thank you for being here. Good to see Susan. It's been a while since I've seen your name pop up in the live chat, Susan. So thank you, Susan Epp. Susan Epp, one of the top um you know one of the top friends of this community. YouTube has this new feature which you can see. It's called top fans. All right. And right next to a person's name or screen name, it shows you number one, number two, number three. That tells you how engaged that friend is in the channel. So Susan, you can see Susan is what YouTube would call a top fan, and what I would say, Susan is one of the top friends of this community. So Susan, thank you for being here. Susan writes, hope you've been good and your mom. Thank you, Susan. We are doing well. We are doing well. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your comment. Um, my friends, I'm going to be talking about immigration issues. And let me just start by saying Mayor Karen Bass of Los Angeles, Mayor Karen Bass, she is busy doing what she does best, and that is fail. Okay. Mayor Karen Bass fails every time. Mayor Karen Bass fails to understand what her constituents want. Mayor Karen Bass fails to understand what the American people in general want. Mayor Karen Bass fails to do what is best for the people of her city. She fails to do what is best for the country. Karen Bass fails to abandon her left-wing policies. One would hope that, maybe Mayor Karen Bass would abandon her left-wing policies and she would adopt common sense. She would embrace common sense, but that is something she fails to do. She fails to abandon her left-wing policies. She fails to refrain from spreading left-wing propaganda. One would hope that maybe Mayor Karen Bass would just stop spreading left-wing propaganda, but she fails to refrain herself from spreading left-wing propaganda. Mayor Karen Bass also fails to show support for the rule of law. Mayor Karen Bass fails to stand with the men and women of law enforcement. Mayor Karen Bass fails to understand the urgent need to get the illegal immigrants out of the United States. Or perhaps let me just give you another viewpoint. Perhaps Karen Bass understands all of this. Whatever I'm saying, she understands all of this, but she still chooses to follow all the policies that continue to hurt her city of Los Angeles. She chooses, maybe she just chooses. It's an informed decision, perhaps. She understands the facts. She understands the truth. She understands the reality. She understands what's good, what's bad, what's right, what's wrong. But she just chooses the wrong path. Maybe that is what is happening. She chooses, maybe she just willingly chooses to follow all the policies that are hurting her city. What do you think? You may be thinking, why I am talking about Karen Bass today. What has she done now? Why is Karen Bass the topic? Well, Karen Bass is not the topic. The topic is a much bigger issue that goes beyond Los Angeles. But I need to talk about Mayor Karen Bass because she's making some decisions that you need to know about. Especially if you are in California, if you are in Los Angeles, I don't know. Are there friends who are watching from Los Angeles today? Are you tuning in from Los Angeles? If you are, please write that in the live chat. Just introduce yourself and say, I am from Los Angeles, and pay attention because what I'm about to tell you is very, very important. Very important. Why am I talking about Karen Bass today? Well, let me tell you. Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles, she has signed an executive directive to provide more assistance to illegal immigrants. That's right. More support for the illegal immigrants. That is what Karen Bass has chosen to do. She wants to help the illegal immigrants. Fred, good to see you. Fred from the fields of southern Indiana. We got Fred from Indiana. We got Susan from California. Thank you for being here. Make sure, hey, listen, make sure you like this video. Make sure that you are sharing this video. We need to spread this message far and wide to a lot of people across the country. Share this video, my friends. Help us reach more people. Mayor Karen Bass, she has decided to sign an executive directive to provide more assistance to the illegal immigrants. After the billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars that the illegal immigrants received in various forms of support nationwide, Karen Bass wants to prioritize illegals in her city of Los Angeles. What is Los Angeles' future? What is the future of the city that once upon a time used to be a great city, was a beautiful city, Los Angeles? But now what is happening to Los Angeles? What is happening to California? Because of the left-wing politicians. What is happening? Los Angeles is experiencing a downward spiral. Los Angeles, a city heading in the wrong direction because of the left-wing policies of people like Karen Bass. Karen Bass, would you say that she's one of the worst mayors in the country? Well, if I tell you, hey, Karen Bass is one of the worst mayors in the country, you might come back and say, toss it. You're damn wrong. She is not one of the worst. She is the worst. She is the worst mayor in the United States of America. Would you say that? Would you say that? Yeah, you can say that. After all this, after all the devastation that we have seen over the last 4 years, after all the chaos, after all the crises, after all the crimes, Mayor Karen Bass decides that she is going to use her power to prioritize the illegal immigrants. She's doing it right now. She's doing it now. Jim, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Jim from Illinois. Jim, thanks for being here, Jim. You have to read Executive Directive number 12. That's what you have to read. This is Executive Directive number 12 from Los Angeles. Maya Sisters is here. Maya Sisters, so wonderful to see you. It's been such a long time. My friends, I gotta stop and say hi to Maya Sisters. It's so good to see you. It's been so many months since I saw your name pop up here. Maya Sisters from Wisconsin. Are you still in Wisconsin, Maya Sisters? I hope so. Thanks for being here. Oh, Jim moved to Missouri. Wonderful. Great. You moved to a nice state, Jim. So my friends, let me continue. Executive Directive number 12. If you read it, it's on the internet. Just go find it. This is Mayor Karen Bass signing Executive Directive number 12. And you know what it reads? You know what it reads on the official website of the city of Los Angeles? It reads, Mayor Bass issues executive directive to support immigrant communities. Immigrant communities? That's a wrong way to write it. Wrong way to write it. It's not immigrant communities. She is supporting illegal immigrant communities, not immigrant communities. Immigrant communities are those who are here legally. Immigrant communities are those who respect the rule of law. Those are individuals living in immigrant communities who respect immigration law, who respect the rule of law in the United States, who are here legally, who are working hard. They are here to build a better life. They are here to contribute to the growth and success of the United States of America. Those are the immigrant communities. But the community that Mayor Karen Bass wants to support is the illegal immigrant community, not the immigrant community. Illegal immigrant community. That's a word that is important to insert in that title. Mayor Karen Bass issues executive directive to support immigrant communities. No, to support illegal immigrant communities. And this is, it's a disaster. You got to read this executive directive number 12. You have to read it. Go on the internet. Read it. It says, the directive bolsters city protocols that prohibit use of city resources for immigration enforcement, expands access to resources for impacted families, establishes new LAPD working group, and seeks records from federal agencies about unlawful raids. Really? Unlawful raids? The raids that have been conducted, that are being conducted, that will be conducted to catch illegal aliens? Those are unlawful raids? Really, Mayor Karen Bass? And she says, expands access to resources for impacted families. What are the impacted families? Illegal immigrant families? Illegal immigrant families, those are the impacted families. Families that are here illegally, families that don't have the legal status to be in the United States. Those are the families that she's trying to help. What about the families that are victims of crimes committed by illegal aliens? There are many families from coast to coast, American families and people who are here legally, American families who have become victims of crimes committed by illegals. Those are the impacted families. Those are the families that are suffering. Those are the families that are crying every day because their loved ones have been hurt or have been killed by illegal aliens. The real impacted families are American families who have been hurt by because of crimes committed by the illegals. But over here, Mayor Karen Bass of Los Angeles, a failed city, Mayor Karen Bass is saying expands, her executive directive is going to expand access to resources for impacted families, meaning illegal immigrant families. This is the kind of disaster that we are seeing when you look at the leadership of the city of Los Angeles. It's a disaster. It's a disaster. Mayor Karen Bass is saying, I will never accept these unlawful and chaotic raids and will continue to do all that I can to defend the rights of the people of Los Angeles. When she says rights of the people of Los Angeles, she's not talking about American citizens in Los Angeles. She's not talking about the legal immigrants in Los Angeles. She is talking about the illegals in Los Angeles. She wants to protect the illegals in Los Angeles. I have so much to say that I don't know what my next sentence is going to be. I really don't know. It's like middle of this live stream, I'm just like speechless. I have the printout of the executive directive number 12 right in front of me. And I'm going through the words of this executive directive. It says the city of Los Angeles remains steadfast in its commitment to uphold the dignity, safety, and constitutional rights of all city of Los Angeles residents, regardless of their immigration status. Regardless of their immigration status? What do you mean? What do you mean? Those who are here illegally, those who are living in the city of Los Angeles illegally, those who are not supposed to be in this country, but they are in the city of Los Angeles roaming around free. Illegals. She wants to protect the dignity and the safety of illegal immigrants. What does this regardless of immigration status mean? She's not talking about those who are here as natural born Americans, those who are naturalized Americans. She's not talking about she's not talking about those who are here legally. People have legal status. They can be here legally as students, they can be here legally as workers, they can be here legally as tourists. That's all great. But those are not the people that Karen Bass is talking about. When she says regardless of their immigration status, she's talking about those who walked across the southern border, entered the United States, and feel entitled. And they feel like, oh, they're going to get everything for free. Oh, it's free. You just go to the United States. Everything's free. That's the message that these people got during the Biden administration. You just cross the border, enter the United States, and everything's free. Don't worry about food. Don't worry about housing. They'll put you up in hotels. Illegal immigrants living in hotels, hanging out in the lobby, getting all free stuff, getting debit cards. Remember in New York? Now I'm going to the other coast, New York. They got debit cards. You go and shop. You got debit cards paid for by American taxpayers. My friends, What is happening in Los Angeles is unacceptable. If you support mass deportation, I'm going to stop here for a second. If you support mass deportation, my friends, please write in the live chat. Write mass deportation. Please write it. If you support mass deportation, you got to write it. Send a message to all the people who are watching this live stream. They need to know that we support mass deportation. Write it. Just write it. Express in your own words. Write mass deportation or I support mass deportation. Write it. If you want to write, I love Trump, I support Trump. If you want to write, I support the Trump administration, go ahead and write it. I support ICE. My friends, it is shocking. It is shocking what I'm reading here. It is shocking what I'm seeing here. I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. What is happening in Los Angeles? You know, my friends, this Executive Directive 12, okay? Give me 1 second. It says, furthermore, this is from Executive Directive 12. Vicky is saying, I support ICE. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you so very much. Vicky is saying, me too, I support mass deportation. Thank you. Tangerine's here. Tangerine. Tangerine is #1 supporter of this channel, Tangerine. It says right next to Tangerine's name, #1. Thank you. Thank you, Tangerine, for being here. It says, in the Executive Directive 12, Mayor Karen Bass is signing. Furthermore, I hereby establish a working group to be led by the Los Angeles Police Department in collaboration with the Police Commission and the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs to work with immigrant rights organizations and community leaders to solicit feedback on federal enforcement actions and the city's response. So she wants to put all these resources to work just to protect the illegals. Just to protect the illegals. You know, I'm not going to read this whole Executive Directive number 12. I think you can go online, find it, read it if you want. All right, if you want to print it out, you can do so. I'm not going to read this whole thing. This is nonsense. This is nonsense. If the people of Los Angeles are listening to me, if you are tuning in from Los Angeles, you live in Los Angeles, let me tell you, this Executive Directive 12, you got to read this. And you'll agree with me, this is absolute nonsense. And on top of all of this, wait, there's more. There's more. If you're thinking you've heard it all, if you're thinking, oh, Tausif, thanks for providing the information. We get it. We've heard it all. No, you have not. There's one more piece of information that I'm going to provide to you, and I have more to talk about, so stay with me. But I'm going to share with you one piece of information right now. It's going to shock you. And you know what? Just put on your seatbelts. Put on your seatbelts. Hold on to your chairs, okay? Because I'm going to share with you something shocking. You're not going to believe this. You're going to say, Tausif, you must be lying. This cannot be real. No, it is real. It is real. I'm going to tell you. Put on your seatbelts, all right? Reportedly, there's going to be a plan to provide cash assistance to those affected by ICE enforcement operations. Meaning cash, money, cash for illegal immigrant families. Cash for illegal immigrant families. There's going to be a plan in Los Angeles, and this is according to Mayor Karen Bass of LA. So it's being reported that cash cards, they're gonna give them cards with cash. Cash cards with couple $100 will be distributed by immigrants' rights groups. Yeah, I'm gonna stay silent so you can process this information. I'll let you process this information. Cash for illegal immigrant families. That's the plan in Los Angeles. Cash assistance to those affected by ICE enforcement operations. So, reportedly, immigrants' rights groups will distribute these cash cards. It's like the illegals didn't get anything, huh? The illegals are snatching resources away from American citizens. The illegals are getting the kinds of benefits that homeless people in America, American citizens, don't get. There are many homeless veterans on the streets, and they don't have food, they don't have warm clothes, they don't have shelter, they don't have access to medical services. So many veterans suffering, people who served our country suffering. But the cash cards will be given to illegal immigrant families. And also, listen to this. Reportedly, this is not going to be city's public funds. Oh, Mayor Karen Bass, she wants to make it clear, hey, by the way, these cash cards, it won't be city's public funds, but money from philanthropic partners. Philanthropic partners, huh? Who are these philanthropic partners? Wow. There seems to be a lot of philanthropy going on to help illegal immigrants. So many generous entities looking to help illegal immigrants. Philanthropy. Wow. I wonder which entities are so inclined to help illegals. If you think of needs in the community, if you have money for charitable causes, you're sitting with money and you're looking to help the community out, there are children, American children in need. There are American seniors in need. There are veterans in need. There are individuals with disabilities in need. There are many American families who are facing bankruptcies because of high medical bills. There are so many organizations doing great work out in the community, faith-based organizations, community organizations who are helping Americans, who are helping victims of domestic abuse. There are so many causes out there. If you are sitting with a pile of cash, if you are a wealthy person, and you got cash in front of you, a big pile, and you think you're going to go out and help the community, there are so many causes. Find the one that you're passionate about. Do you want to help women who are victims of domestic violence? Do you want to help children who have faced trauma in their lives? Do you want to help the elderly who have faced elder abuse? Do you want to help people with disabilities? There are so many causes out there, so many organizations, so many needs in the community. If you have money for charitable causes, then there are ways for you to help Americans in need. But it seems that there are entities out there who want to help illegal immigrants. I really wonder where all this money is going to be coming from. Philanthropy, philanthropic partners. Where's all this money going to come from? All this money to help illegals. Mayor Karen Bass just said philanthropic partners. That's all we know. That's all we know. You want more information? I wonder if you're going to get it. If you're thinking, who are these philanthropic partners? Well, I don't have that information. Do you? Do you? If you do, why don't you share it? Yeah. If you have the information, you can share it, my friends. But I don't know. Does Mayor Karen Bass know? I guess so. Mayor Karen Bass is determined to protect illegal immigrants. And this is what is going on in Los Angeles. It's unbelievable. If you wanted, you couldn't make up stories like that. But this is the reality in Los Angeles. Once upon a time, one of the greatest cities in the world, and now Los Angeles is an example of failed policies. What happens to a city when you let the left-wing politicians run the city? What happens to a city? Los Angeles is turning out to be like the worst case scenario of left-wing leadership. You take a city, hand it over to the left-wing politicians, and you wonder what's going to happen to that city. Well, look at Los Angeles. Mert is saying, I say California as a whole. Exactly. California as a whole. Yeah. Look at California as a whole. What a disaster that whole state is. And I have not even talked about Gavin Newsom today. If I start talking about Gavin Newsom, we're going to be here past lunchtime, all right? If I start talking about California's governor, Gavin Newsom, President Trump has a great way of stating Newsom's name, all right? I'm not going to repeat that, but you know what President Trump calls Gavin Newsom, all right? I'm sure you know that. You know what? When I think of California, and I've said this before, I think previously, you look at California on a map, not just the US map, but you look at California in the world map. You look at the entire world. You look at all the continents. You look at Asia. You look at Africa. You look at South America, North America. You look at Europe and Australia. And you see where California sits on the map. Geographically, it is such a special place. The shape of California, going from north to south, and the coastline, and the forests, and the beaches, everything. You look at California, God has given abundant natural resources and natural beauty to California. God has given this piece of land that we call California tremendous beauty, tremendous natural resources. It's one of the most beautiful places in the world. And what the left-wing politicians have done, they have taken this unique piece of land that we call California. They have taken this piece of land. They have taken this state, and they are systematically destroying it. They're systematically destroying California. That's what All these left-wing politicians, whether you're talking about, left-wing folks, Democrats at the local level, whether you're talking about Democrats serving at the state level, they are systematically destroying this beautiful state. And it is heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking. It really is. I know that we live in the present and we like to, whenever we talk about California, we like to say, oh, that's a mess. But, I sit and think deeply, and I think it's such a beautiful piece of land. It is such a beautiful piece of land. It's amazing. Forget what the politicians are doing. You look at the geography, you look at the weather, you look at the climate, you look at, the animals and the wildlife in California. That place is heavenly. But the human beings, the left-wing politicians who are in charge of managing the resources of California, those who are in charge of energy policy, those who are in charge of transportation policy, those who are in charge of fish and wildlife, those who are in charge of, urban and regional planning. All those politicians, the left-wing politicians who are in charge at the local level, state level, they are the ones turning California into a complete mess. They're systematically. It's almost like somebody handed them this beautiful piece of God's creation, California, and they are systematically destroying it. My friends, I'm gonna share with you some more information about California, something that happened there recently. It's national news. It's being discussed everywhere. I'm gonna talk about it. But before that, I would request, my friends, please, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe. I would really appreciate that. People have asked me in the past, people have said, Tausif, we love what you say. We want to support you. How do we do that? My friends, all I ask for is that you subscribe. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. You just subscribe and like this video. And if you want to go an extra step, share this video. I would appreciate that. I'm sure that you have social media pages. If you are on Facebook, if you are on X, if you are on Truth Social, I would request that you share a link of my channel or of this live stream or any of my other videos that you like. You just share my videos or my channel on your social media page just to spread the word. That's all. That's all I ask for. Just to spread the word. It's free. Whatever I'm asking for, it doesn't cost you anything. You subscribe, like, share. You can do one, you can do all three. That's fine. You decide. That's all I ask for. Because what I'm trying to do through my channel is to spread the truth, to share the facts. And those who have been watching my videos for months now, or more than a year, 1.5 years, you know about me. You know what I believe. You know my policy positions. You know how committed I am to spreading the truth, to sharing the facts. So I need your support. Okay? And whatever I'm asking for, it doesn't cost you anything. You just subscribe, like, share. That's it. I would really appreciate that. By the way, if you want to stay connected with me on social media, you can find me on Facebook. You just type my name and you're going to see my picture will pop up. Okay? You can recognize me by my profile picture. Please connect with me on social media. Follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter. Follow me on Truth Social. Instagram, Facebook, please do that, okay? Simon is here. Hello, Simon. Thanks for being here. Don, thank you for being here. Don is saying Tausif should run for governor of California. Don, I don't live in California. I love California. And I wish that we can take California and put it on the right track. I really wish California the best. I hope that we can have conservative leadership in California. But I don't live in California. I don't. So, in order to run for governor of a state, you have to be in that state. And I can't do that in California because I don't live there. But I really appreciate your vote of confidence and your trust and the words of encouragement. I really appreciate that very, very much. Okay. So my friends, I'm going to continue because there's something very, very important that I'm going to talk about now. Something that, as I said, it's in national news right now, and it is something that needs to be discussed, and I'm going to do just that. Once again, California. I'm sure you've all heard this by now. Federal agents conducted an operation in California. They raided ICE agents, federal agents. They raided a cannabis farm in Ventura County. And federal agents arrested around 200 people. During that raid, around 200 people. And also, there were several migrant children that the federal agents found. Migrant children. The federal agents found migrant children during a raid at a cannabis farm in Ventura County, California. Now, CBP commissioner, so Customs and Border Protection commissioner, wrote on X. He wrote, 10 juveniles were found at this marijuana facility, all illegal aliens, 8 of them unaccompanied. It is now under investigation for child labor violations. Do you understand how serious this is? And this was just one raid at one location. One raid at one location, one cannabis farm, not multiple farms, not several farms, one farm. They found 200, they arrested 200 people during that raid. And they found juveniles, all illegal aliens, illegal alien juveniles, 8 of them unaccompanied. And it's now under investigation. Terry Gilly is here. Terry Gilly, thanks for being here. Thank you, Terry. I appreciate Terry's compliment. Thank you, Terry. Joe is here. Hello, Joe. Child labor violations. Just understand the gravity of the situation. Understand how serious this is. If this is the findings from a raid at one cannabis facility in one county in California, imagine what is happening nationwide. Imagine what the federal agents could uncover if we saw raids after raids after raids all over California. Simon is saying it's scary. It is scary. If you think deeply, wherever you are, sit where you are, on your sofa, at your dining table, out on your patio, wherever you are right now, in this very moment, wherever you are, you sit and you think that if These are the findings from one cannabis farm in California. Think about what is going on if you just go across the nation and do raids. This is so dangerous. And then you think about what the Biden administration did, the damage that they caused for 4 years. The Biden administration, when they kept the border open and allowed people to come in, flood like a flood of people, mass migration, all these people coming into the United States for a period of 4 years. And we only have estimates how many people came in. No one knows with 100% certainty. No one knows with 100% certainty how many million people came in. And how many gotaways there were. Yeah, people came in, but not every individual got to interact with a Border Patrol agent. Not every individual was processed into the country. There were many gotaways, people who came in and no one knows where they went. And this is just one cannabis farm in Ventura County, California. Around 200 people arrested during the raid, and juveniles found, 8 of them unaccompanied. And then there's more. This is not it. If you think, all right, this is it. No, there's more. More shocking stuff that I'm going to share with you. As federal agents were leaving the site, there were many lawless rioters who were throwing rocks and trying to attack the vehicles of the federal agents. Did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see those videos? You can find those videos on the internet. If you've been watching news, you've probably seen them. People throwing rocks, lawless rioters throwing rocks at the vehicles of the federal agents. So just try to understand how violent these rioters are, these lawless individuals, these evil people. If they can attack federal agents and their vehicles, then what can these rioters, these lawless people do to the general people? These lawless individuals, they had the strength and the courage to pick up the rocks and throw the rocks at the vehicles of federal agents. So just imagine what these lawless individuals can do to the general people who are not federal agents, people who are just general people leading their lives. They don't have law enforcement training. They are not military trained people. They're just regular people. So just understand the kind of dangerous individuals the Biden administration allowed into the United States. My friends, share with me your thoughts. Share with me your thoughts, my friends. Who's here for the first time? I see a lot of new names, so I'm sure there are people here who are here for the first time. Thanks for being here, my friends. Adaptive is saying me. Thanks for being here. I hope you subscribe, everyone. Midnight is saying me. Thank you. Thanks so much. I appreciate the support. So let me continue. if these violent people can throw rocks at the vehicles of federal agents, just imagine what they are going to do to the general people, to the everyday American. These are the kinds of the violent, lawless people. These are the kinds of violent, lawless people who are trying to take away our freedom. You know, when crime goes up, when violence in the community goes up, freedom is diminished. There's a relationship there, an inverse relationship. When crimes go up, freedom diminishes. You know how? The reason why you are able to leave your home and go out for a walk in your neighborhood is because you know that you're safe. The reason why you're able to allow your family to enjoy a relaxing time in the front yard is because you know that your neighborhood, your community is safe. But if there are many crimes taking place in your neighborhood, if there are many crimes taking place in your community, you're not going to feel safe to go out. You're not going to let your kids go out and play in the yard. And every time you leave your home and your car is parked on the driveway and you're entering your car, you're going to look around to see if anyone's approaching you, if there's danger nearby, or if you see anyone suspicious. And that's going to cause anxiety. That's going to cause worry. And then you'll try to minimize leaving your home. You're not going to feel safe walking in the neighborhood. You're not going to go out and walk your dog. You're not going to go out for a walk after dinner because you're going to feel unsafe. So you're not free to do the things you want to do anymore. And that's how freedom goes down if crimes go up. If crime increases, freedom decreases. And what the Biden administration did over the period of the last 4 years, from 2021 to end of 2024, they allowed illegal immigrants into the country, and that diminished our freedom because crimes went up. So these violent, lawless people who are throwing rocks at the vehicles of federal agents, these individuals, these violent, lawless people, they are trying to take away our freedom. And those who are fighting to protect our freedom, to make our community safe, they are the federal agents. The federal agents, the ICE agents, the people of law enforcement, they're out there risking their own lives to catch these dangerous criminal aliens and to make our communities safe. And now the federal agents are under attack. The rioters, the lawless people, the violent people, they are attacking federal agents. They are throwing rocks, dangerous actions. They are throwing rocks at the vehicles of federal agents. And if you have not seen those videos, you need to go on the internet and find those videos and look at what happened that day. Now, the question is, who are these attackers? Who are these people who picked up rocks and threw rocks at the vehicles of federal agents? Who are these people? That is what needs to be investigated. Who are these individuals? Who are these people? President Trump wrote on Truth Social, he wrote that he watched in disbelief as thugs were violently throwing rocks and bricks at ICE officers while they were moving down a roadway in their car and/or official vehicle. Tremendous damage was done to these brand new vehicles. Yeah, those were brand new vehicles. Those were vehicles that were purchased with taxpayer money, right? So when those vehicles get destroyed, it's our money being lost. We, the American people, we paid for those vehicles because we want ICE to have the resources that they need to do the job that they have to do. We, the American people, through our tax dollars, we fund the equipment. We fund the vehicles. We fund the resources that ICE and other federal agents would need to go out and catch these criminals. So when a government vehicle gets destroyed, when a government vehicle, whether it's a shattered window, whether it's a dent on the vehicle, whether it's a damage to the tires, that's our money being lost. And so these criminals, these thugs, as President Trump said, these thugs who are violently throwing rocks and bricks at ICE officers while they were moving down a roadway in their car and or official vehicle, these thugs need to be arrested. They need to be prosecuted. And President Trump wrote, tremendous damage was done to these brand new vehicles. And President Trump wrote, I know for a fact that these officers are having a hard time with allowing this to happen, in that it shows such total disrespect for law and order. Therefore, I am directing Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem and Border Czar Tom Homan to instruct all ICE, Homeland Security, and or other law enforcement officer who is on the receiving end of thrown rocks, bricks, or any other form of assault to stop their car and arrest these slime balls using whatever means is necessary to do so. I'm giving total authorization for ICE to protect itself just like they protect the public. This is real leadership. This is real leadership. This is true leadership coming from the Commander-in-Chief, the United States President, Donald J. Trump. Real leadership. Finally, we have a real leader. My friends, I want to remind you, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. I would appreciate that. And make sure you're liking and sharing this video, my friends. Thank you so much. Thank you, my friends. I have more to talk about, but I'm going to pause for a second and make sure that you're able to subscribe. Give me 1 second, my friends. Okay. Tangerine, thank you for supporting always. Tangerine, I appreciate that. Joe is saying thank you for your show. Thank you, Joe. Richard Miller is here. Richard, thanks so much. I have more to talk about, so don't leave just yet. I'm pausing for a little bit. My friends, President Trump also wrote, I never want to see a car carrying a law enforcement officer attacked again. Authorization immediately granted for arrest and incarceration. Thank you for your attention to this matter. This is a message from our president, Donald J. Trump. And I know this. There are many on this channel, many people watching who support Donald Trump, who support what Trump is doing, who support the actions of our commander in chief, the 45th president, and the 47th president of USA, the greatest country in the world. So, my friends, let's do one thing, because I know that there are a lot of new people on this channel, a lot of new people, a lot of new viewers, a lot of new subscribers. So if you support Donald J. Trump, please, my friends, why don't you write that? Why don't you send a message to anyone who's watching live or anyone who may be watching the replay? Just write, I support Donald J. Trump. Write it, my friends. Write, I love USA. Write, I believe in the rule of law. Please, my friends, write it. We are all patriots. We love America, the greatest country in the world. And we will make America great again. Kelly is writing, I support Donald Trump. Tangerine is writing, I support President Donald Trump. Richard Miller is writing, America First policy is winning. Terry Gilly is writing, I support Donald J. Trump. Kelly is saying, pray for Trump. Jance is saying, I support Trump and God bless the USA. Serge is writing, thanks, brother. Thank you, Serge. WC is writing, support Trump, our laws, USA. Tangerine is writing, God bless America. Thank you, my friends. Let me see, anyone else? Anyone else, my friends? Continue to write. Show your support. Joe is writing, we need rule of law. Absolutely, Joe. Absolutely. We need rule of law. That's what we believe in, rule of law. My friends, as you may see, I'm sure you've already seen this because many of you responded. I have a poll question in the live chat. I have a poll question. It says, all American mayors should cooperate with Immigration and Customs Enforcement, that is ICE. Do you agree? That's the question that I'm asking, and you got two choices, yes or no. Once again, the question is, all American mayors should cooperate with ICE. Do you agree? And 66% of the people have said yes. Overwhelmingly, people agree that all American mayors should cooperate with ICE. If ICE needs cooperation, from a city, the mayor of that city should cooperate. If ICE is thinking about doing a raid, if ICE is thinking about conducting an operation in a city to catch illegal aliens, then the mayor, the police of that city should cooperate. They should not block ICE. They should cooperate with ICE. Help ICE catch the illegal aliens. But a mayor like Karen Bass wants to resist. And there are other mayors. It's not just Karen Bass. You want to talk about Brandon Johnson? It's going to have to be a whole new live stream. If we talk about Brandon Johnson, you know Brandon Johnson, right? Can anyone tell me which city Brandon Johnson is the mayor of? Can you tell me? I know you know, because I've talked about this guy a lot on this channel. I've talked about this guy, Brandon Johnson, a mayor. Terry Gilly is writing Chicago. Exactly. Everyone knows Brandon Johnson's name because, once again, one of the worst mayors in the country. And by the way, it's actually pretty tough. It's tough, figuring out who's worse, Brandon Johnson or Karen Bass. Can we have a maybe an unofficial poll? Like, who do you think is worse as a mayor? Mayor Karen Bass or Mayor Brandon Johnson? Karen Bass? Serge is saying Bass. Who's worse? Karen Bass, mayor of LA, or Brandon Johnson, mayor of Chicago? Terry Gilly is saying Johnson. Brandon Johnson. James is saying Brandon Johnson. Serge has said Bass. Anyone else? Joe is saying Brandon Johnson. All right. So far, most people think Brandon Johnson is worst. Okay. Chance is saying hard question. I can include a few other names there too. You know that. I can include Michelle Wu of Boston in that list. I can include Mike Johnston of Denver. That guy. Once again, you want to talk about Mike Johnston, the mayor of Denver. That's going to have to be another episode. There's a lot to say about that guy. Mike Johnston. I'm not going to talk about Mike Johnston today. That guy is a whole different discussion. All right? We're not going to get there today. And Michelle Wu of Boston. There are some really bad mayors, some awful mayors out there, okay, from like coast to coast. From coast to coast. All right? And in the Midwest. Like Michelle Wu is in the East Coast, right? Karen Bass is in the West Coast. Brandon Johnson is in the Midwest, and Mike Johnston is in the Rocky Mountain area. But they have something in common. They don't like ICE. They oppose ICE. They all support illegal immigration. Left-wing politicians. These left-wing crazy politicians. All right, my friends. 48 likes on this video so far. Can we get 2 more likes so we make it to 50? That'd be great. That'd be great, my friends. 50 likes. Can we get there? Okay. So, my friends, there are forces very evil. But let me tell you, those evil forces, those lawless individuals, they cannot stop immigration enforcement. They cannot stop ICE. These evil people, these evil forces, these lawless rioters, these agitators, these left-wing activists, they cannot stop immigration enforcement. They cannot stop the Trump administration. They cannot stop the American people. And I think it is time for the strongest possible action against these lawless people who decided to throw rocks and bricks at ICE vehicles. They need to be arrested. They need to be prosecuted. Strongest possible legal action should be taken against these people. They have to be identified. They have to be located. They have to be arrested. They have to be charged with crimes. They have to be convicted and thrown in prison. My friends, Here's what I would like. I would like to see more and more ICE raids and more arrests of illegals. Is that what you would like to see as well? If your answer is yes, just write more ICE raids. More ICE raids. What we saw in Ventura County at that cannabis farm, we can find a lot more criminal aliens. We can find many more dangerous illegal immigrants if these raids continue. Would you like to see more raids, more ICE raids? Please express that in the live chat. Write more ICE raids, more enforcement operation. Heather is saying more ICE raids. Thank you, Heather. Joe is saying ice, ice, baby. Absolutely. Tangerine is saying more. Thank you, Tangerine. And Tangerine is one of the top supporters of this channel. Everyone, those who are new, just you can see the top supporters are now there's a little crown and a number that appears next to their screen name, and you can see that little icon next to Tangerine's name, because Tangerine is one of the top supporters of this channel. Thank you, Tangerine. Heather is saying, I love ICE. Yes, we love and support our ICE agents. We wish them well. We wish them success each and every day. My friends, give me 1 second. I have to attach the charging cable to my laptop here. All right. Okay. All right. Let's see. Heather is saying, I'm in Texas praying for the safety of our ICE agents. Thank you, Heather. Thank you so very much. Everyone, please, what Heather said. Heather is in Texas praying for the safety of our ICE agents. Everyone, please make sure that we join Heather in praying for the safety of ICE agents. Absolutely. Those who have been following my channel, you know that I believe in the power of prayers. And so we're going to be praying for the safety of the ICE agents. Absolutely. Absolutely, Heather. Thank you. And by the way, make sure that you're subscribing if you haven't done so already. Okay. All right. Okay, my friends. And also, because the name of Texas came up, we are also praying every day. We are praying for the people of Texas. Okay. Texas is experiencing a serious tragedy, loss of many lives because of the flood, and many people are still missing, and it is a heartbreaking situation. And please know that we are praying for the people of Texas. Okay, we are praying for the families that have been affected because of the flood. We are praying for the departed souls of those who passed away. We are praying for the safe return of those who are still missing. um, we are praying for the families who have been impacted because of the flood, and families who are experiencing extreme sorrow and grief because of uh, because they lost their loved ones. So we are going to pray for the people of Texas, my friends. Please keep that in mind. Okay, whichever part of the world you are watching from, please pray for the people of Texas. Okay, and also let's pray for all those rescuers, all those people, the emergency responders, all those volunteers, and all the charitable organizations and entities who are helping the flood victims. Let's pray for them also. All right, let's pray for them. All right, pray for everyone, my friends. Okay, the country has really come together to pray for the people of Texas, and we will continue our prayers. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. We will pray for Texas. Uh, all right, my friends. So I'm conducting a poll, which is still open. So if you have not voted, you can do so. It says all American mayors should cooperate with ICE. Do you agree? And I told you, I think it was 66% who said yes. Now it's up to 68. So a higher percentage of people have said yes. They agree that all American mayors should cooperate with ICE. So if you have not voted yet, there's still time. Make sure that you're voting. I would appreciate that very much, my friends. Okay, make sure you're voting. And before I wrap up the live stream, I'm going to end the poll and I'm going to share with you the results. Make sure you vote. All right, let's do it, my friends. Robin is saying we in Alabama will stand and pray for ICE all across the world. Um, yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Robin. Thank you. Alabama is a great state. The people of Alabama are wonderful people. And please continue to pray for ICE, um, and also the people of Texas. Candace is saying, I enjoyed this. You're knowledgeable. Thank you so much, Candace. Thank you so very much. All right. And once again, I think there was a question. Somebody said, want to support you. How can we support you? All you have to do to support this channel, subscribe, like, and share. Subscribe, like, and share. That's all you have to do. Okay. I mean, it doesn't involve any money. It doesn't cost you anything. Just subscribe to this channel, like and share. And my friends, if you want to know more about me, because I know there are many people here who are new, who are here for the first time. If you want to know more about me, I have a website. Okay, it has my biography, it has my blog, it has a long list of my published opinions, because I write lots of letters to editors and op-eds. Okay, for those who don't know, those who are here for the first time, uh, my website is tausifanam.net. So Tausifanam is my name, and then .net. Okay, so if you go to my website, you'll see a lot of pictures of me at various events. You'll find a lot of the speeches that I've done in front of different audiences. You're going to read my bio. You're going to read more about my history of public service. You're going to learn more about my background, how I came to the United States as a legal immigrant, and I became a naturalized US citizen back in 2014. That's when I took the oath of allegiance to become a US citizen. The year was 2014. So you can read more about me. And for those who don't know this, I mentioned already that I write lots of letters to editors and op-eds that get published, and my writings have appeared in USA Today, Washington Post, New York Post, New York Daily News, Boston Globe, um, and Pittsburgh Post Gazette, the Philadelphia Inquirer, the Western Journal, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, Chicago Tribune, Washington Examiner, Washington Times, the Capital Times here in Wisconsin, and then others. There are other newspapers. So I have written a lot over the years. I still continue to do that. And, I get published. And, just I want to highlight one thing, because I know people are watching. So on two different occasions, Mike Huckabee, we all know Mike Huckabee, right? We all know Mike Huckabee, former governor of Arkansas, former presidential candidate. Mike Huckabee, he shared two links of my writing. So These were op-eds that were published in the Western Journal. So what Mike Huckabee did on two different occasions, he took the link to my article and he shared it on his Facebook page, and he wrote a little commentaries. He shared his thoughts about my article, and he shared it with his many followers. So this happened on two different occasions. So that's a real honor for me. Okay, that Mike Huckabee read and shared my writings. Um, so yeah, you can go check out my website. Please do so. I encourage you. And what you can also do, if you go on Google or whatever search engine you use, if you type my name, Tausif Anam, in the search window, you're going to find a series of links about me. Okay, you're going to find a link to my X account, my X profile, formerly known as Twitter. You're going to find a link to my website. You're going to read more about me, some highlights and some other things. So go ahead and look it up. I would appreciate that. Marjorie says, "Hi, Toss. First time to get a notification from your channel." Marjorie, thank you. Thanks for being here, Marjorie. Marjorie is our friend from Canada, right, Marjorie? Marjorie, I forgot what province you live in. Would you share that with us? What Canadian province? What Canadian city? Please let us know. Um, I thought I remember Ontario. Yeah, Ontario. All right. Thank you, Marjorie. Thanks so very much. Um, so, my friends, I'm going to wrap up this live stream very soon. But let me just tell you, we would like to see more and more ICE raids, and we would like to see more and more arrests of illegals. But then there's Karen Bass, and she's trying to protect illegals. And she also suggested, she stated that cash assistance will be provided to families impacted by immigration enforcement, basically illegals, illegal immigrants and their families. And she said uh, the funding is not coming from city coffers. It'll be funded by philanthropic partners. And I still wonder, as I said, I don't want to repeat what I said earlier, but really, who are these philanthropic partners that are focused on helping illegal immigrants? Okay. It's like money growing on trees. It's like money growing on trees. Like there's like abundant money, endless supply of money that people think it's okay to provide financial support to the illegal immigrants. No, it's not okay. If you want to help people out in the community, help the American seniors. Many American seniors starve. Many American seniors don't have access to safe transportation. Many American seniors don't have access to caregivers. Many American children don't get enough nutrition. Many American children need access to better schools, better education. Many people in America have disabilities and they need help. So if you want to help people out, help the Americans in need, help the American veterans. But there are certain entities, I guess, who are laser focused on helping illegal immigrants. My friends, that's all I have for today. Thank you so very much for tuning in for this live stream. Okay, Karen Bass, truly one of the worst mayors in the United States of America. And Los Angeles is facing unbelievable challenges because of such poor leadership, or I should say, lack of leadership. There's no leadership in Los Angeles. It's just complete chaos because the city is run by liberals, left-wing politicians. So, my friends, thank you all for listening to me. I appreciate your time. Thank you for being here. Make sure, if you still haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like, and share. And please tune in for future live streams and also watch my podcast episode. I appreciate each and every one of you, my friends. Thank you so very much. But as I promised, I'm going to end the poll here and I'm going to report the results before I conclude. So the question was, all American mayors should cooperate with ICE. Do you agree? 391 votes and 68% said yes. 68%. Overwhelmingly, people said yes. All American mayors should cooperate with ICE. Thank you so very much. Thank you, my friends. May God bless you all. May God bless President Donald J. Trump. May God bless the Trump administration. May God bless our Republican leaders in the Senate and the House. May God bless the United States of America. May God bless our U.S. allies. And may God bless freedom-loving people all over the world. Thank you so very much, my friends. And I'm going to be back again soon with a new live stream and more videos. Thank you.